Let's 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 proceed with the interview. Why are you running for state senate at this time?
I'm running for state senate here in California in District 6, which is Sacramento area, because we the people right now don't have representation and we have a lot of issues that need to be resolved, such as homelessness being pretty much the biggest issue here in Sacramento and in California in general, among others, such as healthcare reform and trafficking. Human trafficking is another big issue. So there's issues that are just being swept under the rug right now by our current representation. So we need real representation, representation um, from the people, for the people, and of the people. Because right now our representation is representing corporations and big money interests that are sweeping these issues under the rug and making things worse.
What issues are most important to you?
Most important issues to me are homelessness, healthcare, and child trafficking. Homelessness is getting worse and worse in California, and our current representation is actually making homelessness even worse. The way to solve homelessness, oddly enough, is homes. Homes. It's not rocket science. We need to provide affordable housing in California, in Sacramento especially. I and many of my friends go to city councils every week demanding affordable housing. In cities across the state, people are demanding affordable housing. That's how we can solve homelessness, by housing people. It's not rocket science. And unfortunately, our current representation is taking a backwards approach in which no new houses are being built um, unless they're super rich houses for the affluent coming from the Bay Area. And and meanwhile, rent prices are going up higher and higher, and Sacramento, in fact, has the highest raising rents in the entire nation. So the number of people going homeless each year is staggering. And what our representation is doing is criminalizing the homeless, making panhandling more illegal, making sleeping illegal, removing tents, removing sleeping bags during the winter. Public bathrooms have been shut down, public water fountains have been shut off. It's as if our representation would rather sweep human beings under the rug, hope that they go away, than provide housing for humans. Because if you ask me, shelter is a human right. So that's what I would push forward as senator. If we're going to, let's go into healthcare as well. I had to watch my mother go through chemotherapy for 2 years. She then passed away in November of 2015. Um, it was hard to watch her go through chemotherapy. I really didn't see anything good come out of chemotherapy. In fact, it caused her to go through an extra surgery because of the effects of chemotherapy. So I'm a believer in proper health care as a human right. I support SB 562 here in California, which is the single payer healthcare for all bill. That bill would at least make healthcare a human right here in this state. I am an advocate for alternative medicine as well, such as homeopathic therapy, the use of CBD and cannabis oil as a treatment for preventative cancer treatment, as well as a treatment for numerous ailments such as glaucoma and etc. Um, Child trafficking is the final issue that I get into because Sacramento itself has been deemed a hub of child trafficking by the FBI. It made the top 18 list of the worst cities for trafficking. So, meanwhile, our police force here in Sacramento, they're trafficking the homeless around from place to place. And meanwhile, we have child trafficking going on under the rug, under the radar. We need to start investigating that situation and let people be in their tents, in their shelters that they provide for themselves, instead of removing shelters and letting child trafficking just remain as police are too busy dealing with the homeless.
Thank you, Eric, for that wonderful statement. What are your latest achievements?
A few things that I'm very proud of recently is I helped co-write a play that was put on by my alma mater, Jesuit High School, which is over in Carmichael, right on the border near Sacramento. a play called Isaiah Says. It was a homelessness play, exposing the effects of homelessness, who are going homeless, which include veterans, LGBTQ youth, that are getting kicked out of their homes because of arguments with their parents. Children, we've got children in schools that are homeless. Thousands of children are homeless that are in schools right now. The veterans, of course, need to be taken care of properly when they return home from their duties. So yeah, I was very proud of Isaiah Says, the play that came out with the Jesuit Drama Department, and a lot of the actors that portrayed me and others that go to city council on a weekly basis and give 2-minute speeches. I gave them 2-minute speeches from city council, and they used that as the script, and it was just brilliant stuff. The other thing I'm proud of recently was my nomination and my girlfriend's nomination, Ashley's nomination for Healthy Helpings, which is a group that feeds the homeless and clothes the homeless and provides blankets for the homeless on a weekly basis. We were nominated recently at the Hunger and Homelessness 3rd Annual Community Awards, and we gained certificates. It was a great event where I was able to meet lots of other advocates in the community, trying to do the right thing and help our fellow citizens out. So I'm very proud of both of those achievements that happened recently.
Next question. Who are your major supporters?
My major supporters are friends and family. My father is a big supporter. My girlfriend Ashley is also my campaign manager, and she's a big supporter, of course. I have friends within the Green Party. I'm running as an independent, no party preference, but I also have friends amongst the Green Party, which I registered for after this debacle of a 2016 election. I dem-exited, if you will. The other group that supports me avidly are homeless advocates, and the homeless themselves are big supporters of my work. And what's sad is a lot of them won't be able to vote for me. But what they can, because they're homeless, you have to have a home and an address to vote. And but they're going to help me out in many ways. I've already in plans with the homeless to hold some signs up for myself saying "Vote Eric Frame," and so that's going to be great. Otherwise, I'm just going door to door throughout the city in various neighborhoods. I've got pockets of people that I already know, friends and family that are in major support of my campaign, our campaign I call it, because this is a campaign for all the people of Sacramento and California.
Ain't that the truth?
Thanks, Mo.
Last question. Who are your influences and who has... Last question. Who are your influences and who was influenced by you?
Well, my major influences... my biggest influence was probably my mother. Her struggle going through chemotherapy really opened my eyes to the healthcare system, the broken healthcare system we have now. We in this nation pay the most for our healthcare, and we get the least for our healthcare. We have the lowest life expectancy. We have millions that are uninsured. We have millions who have gone bankrupt just to pay for their medical bills. My mother's struggle through that was eye-opening, but even before that struggle, she was an influence as well, because she was able to she really taught me to be fearless and to be socially active and to just question authority and think outside the box. She was always one to crack a joke, to make people laugh. She didn't worry about what other people thought, and she would just go with the flow and be fearless. And I think being fearless is really important right now. We need to work in an energy of love as opposed to an energy of fear, which is what sometimes the system we have is forcing us into a thought process of fear and a mindset of fear. But we need to flip the script and live with love and go forth and help human beings with love. And it's so easy to do that, and it just feels great to do so. And I thank my mother for all her influences in that regard. Um, what was the other part of the question, Mo?
Who was influenced by you?
Ah, well, and going back to the play that I co-wrote over at Jesuit High School, Isaiah Says, which is expose on the homeless issue in California and Sacramento. Some of the actors that played myself and played others that go to city council are interested now in joining in healthy helpings and helping to feed the homeless and clothe the homeless. Um, the young man that played me, Mason Phillips, he is gonna now join me in providing food and shelter for the homeless, and the other students that were involved, hopefully they'll jump on board too. But in the least, they were able to, you know, wake up to the problem of homelessness in Sacramento, which they were not aware of before. So I'm very proud of those young people being able to see what's going on in Sacramento. It's important that we have a youthful force coming up that understands what is happening and the need for change.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo.